Hello, hello, Bethany here from Just Be Scrap. Welcome. Today I'm going to share with you an altered project I've done for a friend of mine. This was a custom order. A really good friend of hers was having a baby. And I say that in that way because the baby wasn't due until March. Unfortunately, the baby was a preemie, so he came a couple of months early. And so I'm kind of rushing to get this out the door. But real quick, I did want to do a video on this because I am super happy with the way this came out. She originally, when she asked me, she wanted a baby book. And I've had this idea in my head for a while to do it as I guess a year in a box. And so I kind of convinced her that this would be a really cool idea, and she went with it. I was really excited that she kind of let me take control and just go with my thought process here. And I think she's going to be super happy with this thing. The way that it turned out is gorgeous. So I started with just a wood box, and it's very similar to a recipe box, and that just gives you a sneak peek of what's inside. The way that I started this, though, because it is wood and I wanted all my elements to really stand out, I wasn't sure if I was going to actually paint it or whatnot, so I started with a coat of gesso. And all gesso is, or gesso, however you say it, I think it's actually pronounced gesso, but it's essentially a white paint, but it's not as heavy as acrylic. So if you have white paint, white acrylic paint, you can kind of just water it down, not a lot, but a little bit, just to get a thinner texture, and that will work fine as well. So I did that all over the box, inside, outside. The only thing I did not cover was the bottom, because obviously the bottom is not going to be seen. The next thing I did is I took some images from the paper line that I was using, which is the Graphic 45. It's the Little Darlings collection. I do believe this is still available, and it is an adorable baby collection. It's a wonderful collection to work with. I really enjoyed it. I don't do a lot of baby stuff anymore because my girls are not babies, but I really had fun with this collection. It's super, super cute. And so I got all my images down that I wanted to use that were more spotlight images. So like these little squares that you see on the sides here, I've been pointing out. Little borders right here along the side and this side. Along the top, the only piece that is not part of the Graphic 45 was this little postcard in the very back. And I put that down originally because it kind of looks like one of those old-time mailboxes, I thought. I thought it was kind of a mailboxy thing. So anyway, of course, with the stamps, that is a Graphic 45, and this little guy is just cute. I did do some die cutting right here of this little doily, and that is a My Favorite Things die. After I got down all my paper pieces, this one is actually popped up, so he's not included in this, but after I got all my other pieces down, I went back in again, and it needed something else, so I used some Tim Holtz tissue tape. And I just took randomly bits and pieces, like right here, and right here, and right here. And I just kind of just started, I pulled it off and cut it out, and then just kind of just nooks and crannies, I stuck some of that tape down. And that kind of helped give it some texture. And then I still really wasn't all that pleased with it. So I'm like, what else can I do? And I had a little stamp that kind of had a little postcard image on it. So as you can see, I randomly have stamped bits and pieces of that postcard stamped image on top. And I even layered it over some of the tape pieces. The only thing I didn't want it to touch was my main focal pieces on each side. So I just used a little Post-it note to kind of cover those up. And then just kept going. Now, once I got all that down, I did not do anything with the back, by the way, except for the trim that does run all the way around the back, and then my signature card. But I went ahead and used, after I had everything down, I have a metallic glaze, and I stippled it on just to give it that wow factor. It's a popping. It helps the whole piece just pop. It's beautiful. As you can tell, it's got a nice sheen to it right here and right here. And it just really set this whole piece to the next level, I thought. Once I got that done, of course, I added my trim, as I pointed out. By the way, what I have in my hand is that stipple brush, in case some of you are wondering. That's what a stipple brush looks like. I've had this in my stash for years. I don't even know if they're still available. I'm assuming they are, but just check your local craft store. I'm sure they'll have one somewhere, probably in like the stenciling section. But anyway, I went back in with my trim and added that on. Like I said, it goes all the way around the box on both sides. I did do a little piece right here across the lip where it opens up, just because I thought that was really pretty. I added on this piece, or this trim up here next. This trim is actually found inside on some of the files, so I wanted to, you know, kind of keep that same element running through. Then I added this guy on. He's actually popped up on some foam just to give it a little extra dimension. And then to help bring in the flowers too, because I didn't want the flowers just to pop on that, you know, flat surface. So popping that piece up, this whole circle piece right here, kind of helps my flowers take their place in the design as well. And then I did an embossed right here. It says boy, with a little scrolly frame around it. That's all embossed in a gold, vintage gold, I think. I used a Tim Holtz token right here that says genuine. I used some seam binding that I dyed that matched my colors of my paper and my colors of my box. And I did that crinkly thing to them, and then I figured out how to tie them all up that real popular way that's so big right now. Use some stick pins back here with some beads added to it, just to give it some more umph, if you will, if that's a word, umph. And then the last thing that I did, well, a couple more things I did that really set it off. The baby's name is Mason, so I used an M right here to kind of personalize it and monogram it a little bit, because I really like monograms, and especially with this kind of being like a postal box type of thing, I thought that was really cool to go with the monogram. And then several years ago, the wax seals were popular. I don't know if they still are or not, but I love them. I've always loved them. And they kind of go with that whole letter thing and postal thing too. And this one is a Seven Gypsies one. It says baby. And then Angels Are Among Us. I thought that was really pretty. And then I happened to have, I had done several different colors. I did this one in like an ivory. I had done one in a gold. And I had a little drop of gold wax that fell too. So I added him in just because I thought he was kind of cool. But yeah, and my, you know, just any little bits and pieces that I could add in, I did. So that's my overall box. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. If you have any questions about some of the techniques I did, feel free to contact me and ask me. I would love to share. I love to share ideas and bounce ideas off of each other. So if something I didn't cover, let me know. You can also check me out on my blog. My blog is www.justbescrap.blogspot.com. And feel free, like I said, anytime, if there's something I've posted or have talked about in a video that you're not quite sure of and you want some more information on, I have no problem sharing that information with you guys. So anyway, I hope that you like my box. Be sure to check out the next video, because I'm going to show you what's inside the box on the next video, and I promise you don't want to miss that, because those files turned out really, really cool too. So anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later. Bye.